and you're going to draw this with me, the phylum Chordata. It includes fish, you should write this down, and from fish that evolved bones and things like that, evolved amphibians, and from those evolved reptiles, and from reptiles we get mammals. So mammals evolved before birds. And then also from reptiles, we got birds. So two different groups have come from reptiles, mammals and birds, and these are classes. Actually, they're not class names yet. So this chapter, we're really focusing on just these three. So in the chart, it's going to talk about who evolved when, and you to draw this. It's on page, I think it was 459. The first thing to evolve were something called jawless fish. And they have a mouth, but it's creepy looking. It looks like a big sucker face. I don't even know. That's a jawless fish. And I'm now going to show you a picture of a jawless fish's face. That's the mouth. Looks like a little sucker hook mouth. And so it doesn't really have a jaw like we're used to seeing. Okay, so that's a jawless fish. That's the first to evolve. From there, we get fish whose body is made of cartilage, cartilaginous fish. That is not an airplane. Just a shark. Cartilaginous fish. These are bodies made of all cartilage. The only part of their body that was bone was their teeth. And then bone evolved, and it evolved in rivers, and we get our first bony fish. Again, if you need to pause it, you can. Bony fish. We're going to be talking about that today. From there, we get our first amphibian. To draw a frog, you just do rainbows. Rainbow, 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 rainbow. Upside down rainbow. And some dots. I'm running out of room. From there, we get reptiles. This is a lizard. And from reptiles, like I just said, two different groups evolved, the mammals and the birds. So mammals first. Mammals come around. One of the cool things about mammals is that they have fur. So they're very fuzzy. It's fuzzy cat. And also birds. Oops, but birds evolved from reptiles. Your job is to know who evolved when. And right now in class, you are going to memorize it and practice it with your partner, even though I'm not there. Fish evolved 530 million years ago, followed by amphibians, 380 million years ago. Please notice that it took a really long time to get here. From fish to amphibians, things on land. And the word amphibian means double life. They start with gills and they end their life with lungs. From there, we go to reptiles. It took them another 60 million years to work it out. They evolved 320 million years ago. Mammals, 220 million years ago. We started very small. Dinosaurs were around at this time. And then birds was only 150 million years ago. They were also around during the dinosaurs, outcompeted the flying dinosaurs, and survived the mass extinction. You have to be able to write this down from memory. So pause the video, memorize these numbers. When you're done, test your partner, see if you can both do it. And then I expect you to write it again from memory down here. And then keep playing the video after that. So pause it right now. Memorize this only. Go. Pause the video. Okay, part 2. Get this out. I told you this chapter, which it is totally not 14, I think we're at 11 right now, is going to be fish, amphibians, and reptiles. We're just going to talk about the fish. So amphibian is a class, reptiles is a class under the phylum Chordata, things with the backbone. Fish, there are 3 of them. And we're going to quickly write that down. Okay. 1, 2, 3. These are classes. There are Agnatha. These are terrible names, by the way. Agnatha, Chondrichthyes, and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes. Ichthyology is the study of fish. I took a class called ichthyology in college. It was terrible. Nasty, dirty, stinky fish everywhere. The way I spell ichthyology, and it's I-C-H-T-H, yes. Chondrichthyes. And then the next one is Osteichthyes. Ost, which means bone. Ichthyes, I-C-H-T-H, yes. So Agnatha are those nasty looking jawless fish with a weird sucker mouth. Chondrichthyes are cartilaginous fish, fish that use cartilage. And Osteichthyes, you probably could guess it since ost is bone, like osteoporosis is a disease where you have brittle, holy bones. Holy bones. Your bones are holy. Those are bony fish. Let's do some examples. Jawless fish. There's only 2. One of them is called a hagfish. That might remind you of a person. The other one is called a lamprey. We're going to draw a lamprey. Get it? It's a lamp, and there's rays of light coming out. Ha 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 ha. I don't know, I'm sure which one it is. I think it's a lamprey. Maybe it's a hagfish, but one of those is like this wormy, giant fish worm thing, and it twists in little knots, and all this mucus comes out. Like buckets of mucus come off of one hagfish. They had it in an aquarium, at Birch Aquarium, and they had to get rid of it because the entire tank filled up with mucus in a day or 2. So there's only 2 Agnathas. Cartilaginous fish are fish made of cartilage like sharks, rays, something called a skate, which looks like a stingray, but it has a longer nose, and the random ratfish, I think, got confused because it looks just like a regular fish except for its body's made of cartilage, but it doesn't look anything like these. And then the bony fish. You could probably write your own examples down. You tend to eat this at the store or at the restaurant. Well, not this one. Goldfish, trout, salmon, mahi-mahi, swordfish, tuna. By the way, you should not be eating tuna if it's long-living. If it's a full-grown tuna, it has tons of mercury in it. Anyway, these are the 3 fish that you have to know. If you have the time, take a moment to try to remember these study it, try to write them on the back without looking, if you have like a couple minutes. We're going to do amphibians and reptiles when I see you on Friday. Specifically with amphibians, this chapter is the one where we dissect a frog. So to get ready for that, you have to know every single frog part. Turn to this. We are going to look at this and color it. This shows you the dissection. So you cut it open. This is what you'll see. This is a liver. Frogs have tons of greasy, nasty fat in them. You can see some of the intestines on the side. If you lift the liver up like this, you can see underneath it, you can see the stomach, the pancreas, intestines, gallbladder, all these parts, fat bodies. By the way, you have all of these same things. If you cut this off, and you cut the gallbladder off, and you cut out all these intestines, you get this picture, if it's a female. You can see the heart, the lungs. This is called a larynx, and it's labeled with an L, like Larry, inks, like inky Larry, Larry with ink on him, larynx. You can see the ovary, that's definitely a female. Stomach, all the nasty fat bodies. Oviduct, large intestine is left over. I think that's the rectum. This little jelly bean is a spleen. The jelly bean is a spleen, and you actually have to know two terrible words. One of them is this. I'll help you remember it in class. This is the postcaval vein. And this right here has a horrible name as well. It's called conus truncus arteriosus, and you absolutely have to know that. But right now, we're just going to be coloring it. If it's a male, you'll see instead no ovary, no oviduct. So these are missing. And instead you see the kidneys. Female has that too, but they're hard to see. And then you see their adrenal glands. You have that on your kidney as well. It's what releases adrenaline. And then it has testes, which are these two very tiny little things right here. Okay, so how are you going to color this? When you color it, you're going to choose something to color, like the liver. And whatever color you choose to color the liver, you need to color the liver that same color on every single drawing that has a liver on it. Please don't draw it like this. It can't look like that. It has to look nice. And when you cut the liver out, you can see the leftover liver flap. That should be red as well. And the word liver should be red so that it's completely beautifully color-coded. Let me show you some examples. This person decided to color their liver blue, and as you can see, the word is blue. All the greasy, disgusting fat bodies are orange. So is the word, fat body. She's got red lungs, a pink heart, the larynx is kind of yellow, and she did that for all of these. If you would like some extra points, you can bedazzle your frog. Bedazzle. And you can bedazzle the words as well if you'd like. Bedazzle. Besparkle. I did that. This one's a little excessive. I did this one as well because I got bored. I even put a gem. That's the gallbladder. I put a gem on the spleen as a jelly bean. So it's 3D. And look at that. And you can just do that and get a couple of extra points and make it look beautiful. But don't forget to do the words the exact same color as well. So today you're going to color this in class, and then you're going to keep coloring it at home, and then you're going to keep coloring a little bit more when you have nothing to do, and be almost done with it by Friday. So by Friday I would expect that about 3/4 of this is done. Also by Friday I need you to know everything in this picture and everything in this picture. So you should be able to say liver, fat bodies, liver, gallbladder, fat bodies, stomach, pancreas, that's a hard one to remember, small intestine, large intestine, and if you are exceptional, you can start over here, tack on a spleen is the jelly bean, the rectum, Like if you got in a car crash, I wrecked him. I wrecked the cars. I wrecked them. Fat bodies, heart, lungs, larynx, post-caval vein, and conus truncus arteriosus, ovaries, oviduct. You know what? I just lied to you. This is the only one I want you to know is this one. Learn that frog. Know everything on this female frog. Okay, that's it. Go color it.